Hi everyone, this is Nataraj. I'm back with the other video. In this video, I'm going to talk about that automatic backup for the PostgreSQL on Google Cloud SQL using Terraform. In this video, it is my continuations of my previous video. If you are not watching my previous video, you can watch it out. So we'll talk about that backups. So let us start. So the backup is providing the way to restoring the Cloud SQL to be recovering the loss of the data. For example, suppose someone is deleted the DB of the table unintentionally. So in this case, if you are maintaining the DB of the backup, then we can easy to recovering from the problem. Also, one of the most important thing, if you are working on the production grade application, it is recommended to enable the automatic backup for your SQL instance because the data is highly important. So we'll see the following these steps with the Terraform. First, I am going to creating the instance of Google Cloud SQL. Later on that I am configuring the backup settings for the data instance. The entire operation I am performing from Terraform. So we can see the code later. Backup configurations within the Cloud SQL instance resource, which you can enable or specifying the starting time for your daily backups. This depends upon your use case. You can make it in monthly basis or daily basis or weekly basis. So totally depends upon your application basis only. Next one is that can I export the backup? No, you cannot able to export the backup. Suppose if you want to take the DB backup, then you can export the data for the database through Cloud SQL export command. It can storing the dump data into your bucket. Then you can downloading from the bucket itself. So we'll moving to that Visual Studio Code. We are at the Visual Studio Code. The entire code is available on my repository. You can clone from any time. So we'll see the code one by one. First I'm going to click on main.tf file. So one of my previous video I'll talk about that entire code deeply. So I can provide the descriptions of this video. You can watch it out. So in this video I only covering with certain portions only. So I'll talk about that part. The first one is that I'm newly added that local blocks. So the local blocks mainly used to assigning the naming to the expressions. You can see here I'm using that backup_.config file. I'm using the length function, so calculating my variables. If you greater than by 0, this condition is evaluating as a true, then this I'm getting the value from the variable. Condition is false, then it will be I make it in that list function is empty. This is one of my dynamic backups. This is particular block I'm added in this code. I'm using the dynamic blocks for the backup_configurations. It is a nested block inside your resource based on your variables. So also you can see the thing I'm using the for each. So the for each mainly used to iterating over the data structures. You can see the thing content. The first one is that enabling part. So I'm enabling that backup option. So I make it true. Next one is that binary log enable. So basically that we are capturing the changes of your database. Suppose you want to access the binary log to performing the various operations such as replication, point in time recovery and audit. So these are things will be coming under that binary log part. Next one is that starting underscore time. So basically here we are formatting the time to indicating the when the backup will be starting. So in my case I make it that 12 o'clock. Next one is that point in time recovery enable. So basically it can help to recovering the Cloud SQL instance to the specific point in the time. For example, if you are in error any caused your loss of the data, you can recovering that database in the state before that error occurred. So this is one of the greatest way to restoring the data with the specific times before that error occurred. Next one is that a transaction log for retention underscore date. So here we are maintaining the number of days for the transaction log. We can retrieve from the point for the time restores. So again I'm using the dynamic blocks for that backup retention underscore settings. The first here also I'm using the for each, the more or less similar only. You can see the thing in the content. So here we are retaining the underscore backups. We are maintaining the number of the backups to retained. So next one is the retention underscore unit. So here by default the unit is account. For example, here I am retaining the most of the 7 days backup. So here I'm using the try functions. Basically that if you haven't passed the variable, then the null value will be coming to the picture. So if you are not using the try functions, someone is not passing the variable, definitely the Terraform won't succeed. But in my case, even if you are not passing the variable, you'll get for default. If you are not setting the default, then it will be coming from the null value only. So we'll moving to the terminal and executing the entire operations. So I'm going to click the three dot and click the terminal, open with the new terminal here. So here I'm going to executing the Terraform init to downloading the plugins. So next I'm going to executing the Terraform plant command to validate my syntax and that calling method. Yeah, plan also succeeded. Now I'm going to apply the Terraform apply command to provisioning my SQL instance. Yeah, it is asking the user input is yes. Also you can scroll down above. Here we are going to add with the 5 resource. There is a no zero changes, no zero destroyed. So the plus mark indicating is these are the things we're going to add it. The backup, you can see here the backup configurations. Whatever the value I defined in the variable, those value will be reflected. So now I'm going to provide that input is yes to continue these things. Now the provision is started. It may taking some time, so I am pausing this particular part. The Terraform operation successfully completed. So we'll be moving to the GCP console page. Yeah, right now I'm at the GCP console page. I'm going to click that the navigation menu. Then I can scroll down below. I can click that SQL. You can see here my PostgreSQL primary instance is successfully created. Just I click in this one. If you scroll down below, there is the backups. I'm click the backup options. Yeah, so that you can see here the setting is reflected here. The automatic backup is enabled, the backup window, the point in time recovery, automated backup retain. So whatever the data I defined, those values will be reflected. You can see here this backup also happened. So also you can create that manual also, but in my case is automated based on the time interval. Automatically the backup will be taken. So I hope this video will be useful to everyone. Thanks for watching. Bye.